Shabbat Shalom, Mishpacha. This is Rabbi Simon, your host. Thank you and welcome for coming into the room to listen into this lecture. And it is a pertinent lecture. I believe our Parsha is Vayira, which we start in the book of Shemoth, Exodus, chapters 2 from if we go to Exodus chapter 6 verse 2, and it kind of goes like this. Elohim spoke to Moshe and said to him, I am Yahweh, and I appeared to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Yaakov, and as Al Shaddai, the mighty power, but by name Yahweh was I not known to them. I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, in which they were strangers. And I have also heard the groanings of the children of Israel, whom the Mitzrayim, Egyptians, have kept in bondage, and am mindful of my covenant to bring it to pass. Therefore say to the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayim, Egyptians, and I will rescue you from their bondage, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments. And I will take you as my people, and I will be your power, and you shall know that I, Yahweh, your power, who brings you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, the Mitzrayim. And I will bring you into the land which I swore to give to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, and I will give it to you as an inheritance. I am Yahweh. Now, what is the most important thing over here? The most important thing over here that I want to emphasize is this. We need to set a claim. The problem that we are having today with several of our folks that are ill, that are struggling, that are suffering with lack of employment, lack of finance, is that your biggest problem and your biggest mistake is you don't even know how to make a claim. Now, when God goes to Abraham and God keeps telling Abraham, I am going to give you a land. I'm going to give your children a land. So God is making a claim. And what is Abraham doing? He is saying to God, yes, sir, I accept your claim. Yes, that land is mine. Yes, Israel is mine. Yes, that land is going to be mine. How many times do you think Abraham will say that? How many times should Abraham say to God, every day when he sits in his prayers, how many times should he acknowledge that? He should acknowledge it every day. 2-3 times a day he should acknowledge it. That land is mine. That land belongs to me. This is where you are struggling, my students. You are struggling because you do not make the claim. You may have a claim. You might like to buy a car, but how many times in a day do you say to yourself that car on the road that I see, that Ford F-150 truck is mine. I make a claim on it. I'm going to receive it. That, Chevy is mine. I make a claim on it. That is mine. That Ford Mondeo is mine. I'm making a claim on it. So you need to make a claim, and you need to stick to your claim. And remember, thoughts create reality. You are creating your reality through your thoughts. You are the operant power. God has given you the operant power. God has given you the power. You have the kingdom. Now you have to make your claim and stick to your claim. And the claim is not one time. The claim is every day. 3-4 times. Remind yourself. 3-4 times. Look. I gave an example of a lottery to a student of mine. And I said, look, there is no good just talking about a lottery win and keep, saying that such and such person in such and such state, he won $150 million lottery and it's great. Yeah, it's nice, beautiful, no worries, no problems. I'm happy for them. But I said, what about your claim? When are you going to make a claim that you're going to win a lottery jackpot and X amount of money is going to be in your bank? So I said, stop looking at other people and start claiming it for yourself. How do you claim for yourself? Very easy. Pick a number. Pick a number in the air. Let's pick a number. Let's pick a smaller number. We won't pick a bigger number. We'll pick a smaller number. $50 million. Okay? You make a claim. You say that I have $50 million cash in my bank account and I am a lottery jackpot winner. That's your claim. Okay? And you stick to that claim. You don't just claim that one time and forget about it. You claim it 3-4 times and now you feel it. How do you feel it? Feeling is the secret. Remember what Neville said, feeling is the secret. Well, what is the feeling? How would you feel if you suddenly had $50 million in your bank? What would you be thinking? What would you be doing? What would you be telling your wife or your husband or your brother or your sister? These are the things. So what would you be saying? Well, if you had $50 million, the first thing you're going to do is, of course, once you say you filed the claim, you got the money, it's in your bank, it's there, it's cash, what you going to do next? You're going to say, you know what, I need to invest this money. So write a piece of note that says I have $50 million cash in my bank. And it doesn't need to be 50 million, it could be 100 million. I have $100 million cash in my bank, ready for investment. Put it on your fridge. Put it in your bathroom window. Put it in your bedroom. Put it where you sit down. Put it on your notice board. Put it on your vision board. Put these 4 or 5 slips. It's not hard to print it. America is not short of ink. Neither is England, neither is France. You got plenty of ink. You got plenty of inkjet printers. You got plenty of laser printers. I don't have a laser printer in my home. I probably have to go and get it printed outside. But my point is this, make a claim. Set a claim of the amount. I have $50 million in my account sitting there as balance to be used for investment. Okay? You made that claim now. You're ready. Now what you do? Now you start having that feeling. Feeling is the secret. What is the feeling? What I'm going to do? Once I get that $50 million, it's coming any day. You're going to keep telling yourself, it's coming any day. It's coming any day soon. It's coming any day soon. Soon as it is in my bank, I'm going to get my Ford F-150. I'm going to book my Ford F-150 truck. Then I think I like to go into business. I don't know, maybe you want to make a garage. Maybe you want to make a big store selling liquor. Maybe you want to do something else. Whatever business you like to do. You're going to say, I think that I'm going to invest, maybe $2 million into my business. And then what I'm going to do, I kind of like Apple shares. I kind of like Tesla shares. Maybe I'll buy 1,000 Apple shares. Maybe I'll buy 1,000 Tesla shares and I'll hold on to them. And that will be your plan. You're planning now. You're planning your money. You're saying to yourself that money is coming. Money is almost here. Money is coming because now your state is changing. You're changing your state. You're now becoming the claimer. You're no longer waiting and saying when. No, you're saying yes. God has already said it. God's going to give it to me. Well, if God gave Abraham a claim, well, what did Abraham do? He kept telling his children when they were born. He didn't have no children. He only had a wife. He kept telling his wife, look, what God has said, it will be done. God has said it, it will be done. And the wife probably joked with him, probably laughed, probably made fun of him, and probably said that, are you gone crazy? Are you getting of old age? What, God's going to give you a child at this age? We're already getting old. Women are like that. Women do talk like that sometimes. And so this is your reality. You're the operant power. And you say, no, God has said it, it will be done. I have made my claim. My claim says that I'm living in a nice 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom house. That's what my claim says. I'm living in my nice 4-bedroom house and I'm purchasing my house with that money. I'm purchasing a nice car that's going to sit in the driveway. And your friends, and what is your vision? Well, in your vision daily, you run it 3-4 times. Don't just run it one time a day. Run it 3-4 times. In your vision, your friends are coming, family is coming, congratulating you. Your phone's not stopping ringing. Your phone keeps ringing. This friend's calling and that friend's calling and saying, hey, Jack, congratulations, you won the lottery jackpot or you got $50 million. Do you mind if you give me $10,000 loan? Well, it's up to you if you want to give him $10,000 loan. But what I'm saying is that that's going to happen. But you're going to have to lay your claim. Lay your claim. Lay your claim for your land. Lay your claim for your house. Lay your claim for your car. Lay your claim for your money. Lay your claim for your bank balance. Don't come and tell me, oh, Rabbi, Kohen, I'm struggling with my bank balance. My business is struggling. No problem. Let's deal with it. Now what you're going to do, you're going to switch states. You know what you're going to start saying to yourself? I am a great man. I'm a wonderful man. Or I'm a wonderful woman. I'm a great woman. I am the best. My business is thriving. I've got customers coming in. Customers are rolling in. Money is coming in my bank from different sources. I am glad that money is coming in. This is what I call personal self-love. So you start doing personal self-love. I'm extremely magnetic. I am super attractive. I'm number one. I walk in great health. I'm highly favored. I'm really desired. I'm always chosen first. My business is blooming. Customers are rolling in through the doors. Everyone is attracted to my products. Things like that. This is your personal self-love. And then after personal self-love, you're going to start doing the money statement. If you're going to tell me no money in the bank, don't ever say that. That is the state you put yourself in. Stop putting yourself into a narrow state. Start saying to yourself, I have tons of money in the bank. I have money coming to me from all different sources. I have money coming to me all the time. I love money. Money loves me. I'm about to buy my house. I'm about to buy my new car. Money loves me. Money circulates around me all the time. Money magnetically clings to me. Money comes to me easily. Money serves my highest good. I deserve to be wealthy, and I am wealthy. Wealth and abundance will never leave me. They will never leave my life. Abundance has created a positive impact in my life. I am the receptacle of wealth. I am becoming wealthier each day. My business is increasing each day. My sales are increasing each day. And if you're working and you're having trouble with hours, like your hours have just been decreased and you're worried, hey, what's going to happen? Omicron, what the heck? My hours have decreased. No problem. Start telling yourself, switch your state. Start telling yourself, I'm very important. I'm highly valued. I'm a highly valued individual. My hours have increased. My boss wants me to do more work. My money has increased. More money is coming into my account. Keep telling yourself, I am highly valued. Keep telling yourself, I am highly valued. I am highly valued. I am highly valued. Say that to yourself 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 times a day. You are highly valued. You are highly favored. When you say that, you're going to start seeing that other things are going to start changing around you. People are going to start calling you. The manager is going to come and say, hey, Sam, I want you to do more hours for me. We suddenly got more work, but we lack staff. Hey, can you do another extra 3 hours a day? So you're going to find that. You're going to find things are going to change. And if you're a business owner, you're going to find that first you had customers drying up. Now customers are walking in the door because you're saying to yourself, I'm highly valued. I have customers coming in. Customers are rolling in. Money is rolling into my bank. Money is coming from all different sources. Multiple amounts of money comes into me from multiple sources. Money comes from unknown sources. And if you have a business, then you can say, money comes into my business. I'm making great sales. Whatever you sell candy, I sell great candy. If you're selling liquor, I sell great liquor. If you're selling books, I sell great books. My book sales are increasing. My customers are lining up to buy my books. And business is booming. See, this is called state change. I want you all to change your state. And if you are ill, you need to start telling yourself, I walk in perfect health. I am healed. I want to thank God for my healing. God is brilliant. God heals me. God is wonderful. God has healed me. God is wonderful. God has healed me. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Master, that you have healed me. I love you, that you are a healer, that you have healed me. So these are the kind of things that you need to keep telling yourself. And stop telling yourself negativity. Stop giving yourself negative thoughts. My job hours have decreased. Oh, Mrs. My my bills are going to have a hard time to be paid. No, you want to see your bills are being paid nicely, and you're going to tell yourself, money is coming in, bills are paid, I've got surplus money, my bank accounts are full, money is coming in, bills are paid, I have surplus money, bank account is full. This is why I told you to get the Parrot app. Become the Parrot. Record it in there. Record 4 or 5 strong affirmations, what I'm giving you. Record these affirmations in there. I am a highly valued individual. I am highly valued. I am of great importance. I am highly favored. Money comes to me from all sources. My businesses are increasing. My businesses are doing great. So, 5 affirmations, 6 affirmations into your Parrot app. Parrot app is free. Look, don't tell me you can't afford $1.50, okay, or $1.25 a month. You're not that poor. You can afford $1.25 a month. So buy the app, get the app, download it into your Android, into your Apple, and record your voice in there and start listening to it. Start listening to it 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, and start telling yourself that you're important, you're great, you're the best. There's none like you. This is what I want you to do. I want you to come out of these doldrums. We are in 2022. I've told you already, 3 to 4 of you. Yesterday I was talking to my student last night when I was up, and I was telling my student that I expect at least 4 people to be millionaires this year, of my students. And she said, absolutely, I believe it. Absolutely, I believe it. So I said, you better believe it, because it is absolutely true as well. Out of my students, I'm expecting at least 3 to 4 of them are going to become millionaires. But they're going to have to change their mindset. How are they going to become millionaire? They're going to change their mindset. They're going to come into a new state. They're going to start believing they have great businesses. They're going to start believing they have great entrepreneurial skills, and all these will build their business. Now, I gave you an app last week. I told you that you can get an app called, and I even ran it for you last week so you could listen to it, and it was the Self-Pause app. It's a free app, Self-Pause, and you can buy it, and then we can run it. We can run it. So rather than be the complainer, like what did God say? God said there are complainers in Israel. In our Parsha it says there are complainers in Israel. But God said, I'm still going to get them out of Egypt, even if they are complainers. So even if you are a complainer, even if you are a whiner, God is still there to help you. He has made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He made that covenant thousands of years ago. He has not left his covenant. He has not denied it. He didn't say, oh, I changed my mind. When Jesus came and died on the cross, I changed my mind. No mind is changed. God is still there. God will still do his covenant. You now have to come into action. I want you to do the things I'm telling you. And also for those of you who are struggling with ill health, like I told you, you need to change and switch and believe that you are completely healed. You're whole. You're healed. And give thanks. Give gratitude. Thank you, I'm healed. Thank you, I'm completely healed. Thank you, I feel wonderful. On top of that, there is another thing that you can do. Take Psalm 3 and take Psalm 7. Take the Hebrew of Psalm 3 and Psalm 7. Don't worry about the numbers, because on the internet you're going to get numbering as well. So just copy them, paste them into a little piece of paper, Psalm 3, Psalm 7, and make a little amulet. And that amulet can go into a little locket that you wear, or if you don't have a locket, if you can't find a locket for some reason, you can put it on your right arm. Wrap it around your right arm on a piece of paper, your piece of paper, put it in a little leather-like wallet. And if leather-like wallet is not available, like a piece of leather is not available, you can stick that paper and wrap it around your hand with a rubber band. Then maybe you can use some other method. But use a paper, print it out, put the two psalms there, and wrap them around your hand. If you can put it in your neck, then get a little bracelet that can hold that piece of paper. Put the writing small. When you have the Psalm 3, Psalm 7 Hebrew, shrink it down to about size 3 or size 4 on the font on your document. It'll become really small. It doesn't need to be visible. It will still do its power. It will still do what it's supposed to do. And you put it on your neck or you put it on your arm, and you can still do what you need to do. Okay? It will still work. And that will be great for healing. It'll be great for many things. Now, as for your, again, I keep telling you, you are the operant power. You decide your fate. If you keep telling yourself, bill is not paid, then you put yourself in a state of bill not paid. Now start saying, bill is paid, bill is paid. Now you put yourself in a state of bill is paid. And how is bill paid? Money is coming. More money is coming. More money is coming in my bank. Money is flowing into my bank. Money is flowing into my bank. I am grateful, all my bills are paid. I am happy, all my bills are paid. So, and then as for your job, if job is having difficulty, if you're struggling, then you start telling yourself, I'm a highly valued individual. Who does not want a highly valued individual? Every employer out there is looking for a highly valued individual. They don't want lazy bums who want to take days off. They want people who are highly valued. They want people who want to expand their business and want to be part of their stakeholders. So, what do you say to yourself? I'm highly valued. I am highly desired. I am highly favored. I mean, 3 statements. Then after that, money is flowing into my bank. Money flows copiously into my bank from everywhere. 5 statements, okay? So you take about maybe 5 to 10 statements, record them into Parrot. If you don't have Parrot, record them into Audacity, save it, load it on your phone, continue to listen to it. Continue to play it in the background. Continue to play it when you're in your kitchen. Continue to play it when you're in your bathroom. There are many, many ways to change your up the ante. So start upping the ante. Rampage, rampage, rampage. You are a great person. You are a millionaire. You're a stock market millionaire. Your stocks are doing great. You're a wonderful person. You're a highly valued person. You're a highly desired person. People go out of their way to be good to you. These are the kind of things I want you to do. These are the kind of things I want you to work on. And when you work on those things, of course, when you wake up in the morning, you do your prayers, your Siddur prayers, and they will be grateful. They'll be very helpful because you give thanks to God, because you give gratitude. They work wonderful. Now you take your, I have my beads over here, my, these wood beads that I use, and start doing your gimel. Gimel, 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 gimel. You're 108 times gimel. You do your 108 times gimel every day for your miracles. Gimel, 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 gimel. Gimel is not the only one. There's others as well. But start with gimel. And after gimel, if you've done your 108 times gimel, then you next can go on to lamed. Lamed, 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 lamed. 108 times lamed. It doesn't take a long time. Don't tell me it takes a long time. It don't take a long time. 5 minutes. After lamed, we can come back to dalit. Or we can come back to alif. Alif, 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 mem, 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 nun, 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 mem, nun, men, nun, amun, 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 man, 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 man. Man comes from mana. Man, 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 man. Start doing these things because you're activating the portions of your brain that are dormant, that are sitting there waiting for you to do some action. So, highly, highly recommend you, my students, please do not be dismayed. Do not be discouraged. We are a covenant people. We are the operant power placed on this earth. It is through us that the families of the earth will be blessed. We are the offspring of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So don't ever forget that. Start working on it. Start working on it. You are tomorrow's millionaires. Think about it. You're tomorrow's successful businessmen. You're tomorrow's successful entrepreneurs. Would a tomorrow successful entrepreneur be depressed? Maybe he can have a moment of depression, but no, it's not allowed. I want you to stop that depression. I want you to come out of that depression. I want you to start working on yourself every day and start visualizing every day. 3-4 times a day you visualize. 3-4 times in your visualization you see you're sitting in that beautiful car that you wanted to buy, and your friend is congratulating you, you're taking congratulations. Or you're at home and you're getting a phone call and your sister's calling you. Hey, I heard that you won the lottery jackpot. Hey, yeah, I did. Congratulations. Wow, you won a big lottery jackpot. Yeah, I certainly did. Thank you. Continue to repeat it. Continue to repeat it. Do not let go. Do not be dismayed. Continue to repeat it. Hey, I heard that you were ill, but you are now healed. Yes, I'm absolutely healed. I have wonderful healing. Thank you, Lord. I am healed. I am wonderful. I am great. I walk in perfect health. These are the words that should come out of your mouth to start changing your state. This is what I call quantum jump, quantum leap into the new state. Start writing, start scripting some. Start script some about healing, about wealth, about business. I'm not asking you to write hundreds and hundreds of pages. Write about 5, 6, 7 affirmations and you just read them. You don't have to write it every day. Just read them. Just write them once and read them every day. Read them out loud. Read them out as many times as you can. If you get tired, read them out 10 times a day. Each affirmation 10 times a day. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm perfectly healed. I'm perfectly healed. I'm perfectly healed. I'm perfectly healed. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. I am great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm a great businessman. I'm a great businessman. I'm a great businessman. Money flows to me from all directions. Money flows to me from all directions. Money flows to me from all directions. All my bills are always paid. 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 Look, is that difficult? Is that hard? Am I asking you to go and queue up somewhere and wait 3 hours in the queue? No. I'm giving you something you can do it right out of your couch. And things will shift and things will shake and you will see the magic in your lives. Israel, wake up. Wake up, Israel. Thank you for listening to my broadcast. I want to append one of my meditations at the end of this. I want you to listen to my meditation. I want you to listen to it every day. And I want you to better your lives, and I want you to tell me about it. Things are going to change. You're no longer going to be the same person, okay? So I'm going to put the affirmation. I'm going to put the meditation at the end. After that, Rabbi Kefa can take the class. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Wonderful, wonderful Shabbat. Love you. I'm your best Kohen in the world. I'm your best coach. And through me, you're going to make many beautiful manifestations. When you hear me, you make manifestations. When you hear me, you make manifestations. Things are just going to click, 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 click. They're going to happen. Okay? So be encouraged. Things are going to happen big.
Okay, we're going to start now. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to relax. I want you to breathe in. Deep breathing. Breathe out. Another one, breathe in and breathe out. Relax. I want you to see yourselves encompassed in a white light around yourself, like a little egg, like you're inside an egg with a white light around it in your room. Now you're going to introduce love and compassion into this eggshell type light. You're going to introduce the color red into this light, and you're going to feel compassion and love now, and suddenly you see that the whole room is encompassed with this white and red light of love and compassion, and then the whole house is encompassed in this love and compassion lights. And then you're going to see that your whole block is covered in this light. After the whole block, you're going to see the whole city encompassed in the love and light. You're sending out this love and light to everybody. Then you're going to see your whole country encompassed in the love and light. And now you picture the planet Earth, and you're going to see the whole planet encompassed in the love and light. You're giving this love and light to the whole planet. It's emanating from your house. We're going to move on to phase 2. You're going to think of at least 1 to 3 things that happened for you in the recent past, the last few days, even the last few months, that you're really grateful for. It could be that the meal you had yesterday, you were grateful for that meal. It was a great meal. You could give thanks for that. You could give thanks for something that happened a few days ago. Maybe a new relation. Maybe you met somebody new. Maybe you did a business deal or something. You feel really happy about that. It could be something as small as you going to a coffee shop and having a coffee, or a tea shop and having tea, and you're grateful for that. You give thanks for that. Once you've done that, you can think about the career or business that you're in, that you're grateful for. If you're a student and studying, you can think about an assignment or project that you did that you felt grateful for. You can bring that feeling back into your mind right now. After that, you're going to bring 1 to 3 things that you love about yourself. And you congratulate yourself for that. You bring a feeling back of pride and thankfulness for having the ability to do these things. You create the emotions that you felt when you did something great in your life. It doesn't have to be in the near past. It could be further in the time. You bring that feeling into your body now. Phase 3. This is going to be where you have possibly resistances and charges in your body for other people that have wronged you. And you're going to bring somebody who wronged you that you need to forgive. You bring them into your vision. You summon them and they are standing in front of you. You read a charge sheet against them, things that did wrong in your life. Once you read that charge sheet to them, I'll let you read out the charge sheet to them, what they did wrong to you. You tell them how you felt when they did these things wrong to you. You can bring those feelings at this point, how you felt at that time. Now that you have read the charge sheet, now you know that how it felt for you at that time. And now what you're going to do is think about what you learned from this ordeal. How did this make you a better person in your life? Now you think about this other person. Think about why they did this. Why did they do these things to you? You got to give them some empathy at this point. If they bullied you in school, or if they did something wrong against you, like they accused you of something, or they slandered you perhaps they took you to court, now you got to think, why did they do that? Maybe they stole money from you, Maybe they didn't return money they took from you. It could be a number of things. Anything that they did, now you have to think from their point of view why they did that to you. Even if somebody did something really bad as abuse, you can think about it, why they did it. Take some empathy for them. Is it because they were themselves abused as a child? Is it because they wronged you because somebody stole from them and they stole money from you? Is it because of something else? They bullied you because they were bullied? And anything else they did wrong, bring some empathy back. Feel empathy for this person. You're not pardoning this person. You have read the charge sheet. You have made yourself known that how you felt. You know that this is a flawed person. They have a flawed personality. By you forgiving them, you're only freeing yourself and them in a way of removing any kind of guilt and charges in your body. And you now feel empathy for this person, that perhaps there was a reason why they did that, and maybe they were hurting as well, because hurting people hurt others. And now you're going to speak the words. You're going to repeat to them, I forgive you. And you can again repeat the words, I forgive you, and ask you to forgive me if I did anything wrong. And then after that, because you felt empathy for this person, you're going to go to this person and you're going to, if it's a person that you know, you can give them a hug, or you can shake their hands, or you can pat them on their shoulders. And then you can tell them to go in peace and live in peace. And you let that charge, that resistance out of your system. And that was phase 3. Now we're going to go on to phase 4. You're going to think of something in your life in the future. We're going to go a little bit into the future. Maybe you're trying to build an ideal body. Maybe you're building a business. Maybe you're building a career. Maybe you're trying to be a great parent, a mother or a father. Or maybe you're even about to get married and you're going to have a family together. So you could think about love. Or maybe you're somebody who is going to set up a charitable institution and you're going to contribute into the society, and you would like to know, you like to think what you're going to do for the community. So you're thinking about the good things that you're about to be doing in the near future. And what you'd like to think of here is that if everything went tremendously well for you, it went tremendously well, what would your life look like in the next 3 years? Imagine that everything went tremendously well. Where would you be in the next 3 years? Get the feeling that you would get at that point if everything was just tremendously beautiful. Bring that feeling back to yourself right now. Feel that feeling right now. If all things that you saw in the future are beautifully true. Now we move on to phase 5. You bring your awareness back. Bring your awareness back to the now. Now you're going to see how your day is going to fold today. You're going to see that perhaps, you're going to have a great breakfast. You're going to go to work. You're going to have a beautiful day. That you're going to have a stress-free journey to work. Maybe you have a meeting in the workplace. Maybe you have an appointment with somebody else. And you're going to see how everything lines up and it's all beautiful. You're going to see things unfolding. You're actually visualizing your day coming to effect before it even happened. And you're going to say, I'm going to have a great day today. It's going to be a wonderful day, perfect in every way. See yourself having a perfect day. Now we're going to move on to phase 6. In this phase 6, you're going to think about your spouse, or you're going to think about your parents, a brother or sister, or somebody else who supported you, who helped you to be where you are today. whoever that person is, you're going to give thanks to that person because they aided you, they helped you, they lifted you up when you were fallen. You're going to thank them. And you're going to say that you love them and you thank them for all the support they've given you. If it's your spouse, you're going to thank your spouse for it. Now bring your focus back. After you've done that, we'll move on to phase 7. Now, having established that you have faith in God, the very God that created you, that gave you life, that gave you health, that gave you everything that you have, because all good things come from the Father of lights. And now you're going to give Him gratitude. You're going to give Him thanks for being on this planet, for Him sending you to this world, for whatever mission that you were sent for you to accomplish this mission, for all His goodness and mercy into your life. He is your support. Now you see a divine light coming down from the heavens above, and it enters your forehead, into your crown chakra. It goes through your forehead and it comes into your brain. It comes into your third eye, into the 6th chakra. It then flows down into your face. Your face lights up as it goes down your face. Your face muscles feel all relaxed. Brain is relaxed. It then goes down. It flows through your arms. The light flows through your fingers. It then goes through your neck, through your chest, your heart section, where the heart chakra is. It nourishes the heart chakra. It goes down, nourishing the stomach, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus one, and the light goes through your back, nourishing your back, healing your back, satisfying every cell, organ in the body. It goes down, lower stomach, where we have the navel chakra. It then goes lower into your hips, into your legs. Just before it enters the legs, it hits your root chakra, and the light goes slowly down your back of your legs, front of your legs, into your calves, into your ankles, into your heels, into your feet, and it goes into the ground. And you see this light then going back up and down through your body, relaxing you, nourishing every cell in your body, giving you strength. And then after that you see the ground light coming up, a light coming from the earth that goes into your body, and that goes up to your root chakra, base of your spine. It goes pretty quickly up your legs into the base of your spine. It nourishes the base of the spine. It gives you more energy. It takes away anything that does not match with the, maybe you have beliefs that don't match with the divinity above and with the earth energy below. It will take away all wrong beliefs. It will correct your beliefs and your belief system. And it will strengthen you in every way to be a successful person in this life. Now after this, I'm going to count to 5. You're going to breathe in, breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now you can open your eyes.
We have the recording going. Yes, Shabbat Shalom Mishpah. Todah Rabbi HaKohen for another wonderful, great bit of instruction and direction and guidance that we can utilize in our lives and take it forward. Baruch Hashem. This is definitely, if you're new, this is definitely foreign to what you have been conditioned to in the nations. But now you're getting back to the ways that are talked about in the ancient books and the holy books, in the Proverbs and in the Psalms about, how we truly connect to source, to the powers of, to the Most High, to the God of Israel. This is how it's done. And as you can see, it all starts within self. And, a lot of folks are missing it because They don't have that connection like we talked about earlier with self, and they don't have that relationship. And as you can see, relationships are an important key. It's totally an important, very, very important. Very, very important. But the relationship with yourself, I know I have dealt with some individuals in this room personally, had conversations with them to really help them and assist them in some relationship issues that they were having, be it with family members, be it with spouses, whatever it may be. But because relationships are very, very important. We're all, you know, we're all, the makeup of us as human beings is relationship. And if you haven't noticed this, utilize this test that we're having with all of these viruses, so-called, pandemic, epidemic, blah, 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 and all that mumbo jumbo. Note how the behavior of individuals are, and note what's going on in the world as a student of human nature when you try to, what do they call it, quarantine people? When you try to put people in and not let them socialize and have them quarantined, it's having an effect. How many of you have noticed the effect in your nation, in your world where you're dispersed, the effect of being quarantined in an environment? And, they're noticing it with children. They're noticing it with the elderly. You're noticing it? It has an effect on everything. It's an effect in the educational system. It's having an effect on everything. And if you haven't noticed that, you need to wake up because it's real. It's a real effect that's occurred because of what's going on. To God for your responses, because of what's going on in the world. And when you boil it all down to it, it's because people were told not to have relationships anymore. I've noticed the effect of this quarantining because of so-called this virus mumbo jumbo. Number one, it's actually counterproductive and counterintuitive to hide from a virus. You can't hide from it. The best thing that you can do is still continue to socialize so that a population can develop the antibodies to deal with it. But get this, the more you isolate and put yourself in a bubble, do you know you weaken your immune system? Because your immune system is not having relationship with other immunities. You get it? So it's actually, they need to reverse it. You know what I mean? And yeah, people are going to get sick. People always get sick with viruses. And some folks, unfortunately, do pass on to the next life. But that's what it is. But you can't sit here and try to run and hide away from it. That's not the model. Satya says, people are becoming more distant. Yeah, you're right. Right. You're absolutely right. They're becoming way more distant. And people, and when in doing this, people become immune to how to have a relationship. They forget the how to. Because why? They haven't experienced it. They haven't went out there and done it. You understand what I mean? So it's all new to them, and they're like, they're kind of like, for lack of a better word, they're ignorant on how to have a relationship. They don't know how to, because they told just to, okay, stay to yourself, don't get out. Wear this mask, don't let them see you, and blah, 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 blah. So it all boils down and all goes back to relationship and how important that human beings need to have relationship. That's very important. And it's important that we do communicate. That's very important. These things are very, very important. And that we have these relationships and that we do communicate on a level that's on a positive level and not one of negativity. But that you know how to nurture great relationships. Because at the end of the day, all this affects the individual person. It does. And how many people does it take to have a relationship? It takes two, at least at the minimum. And I say that as individual, because that person with inside of you, self, that's a total different person than that fleshly person. So that there's already two people in the room, even though you may be saying, Rabbi Kefa, I'm the only one in this room. No, there are two people in the room. at minimum. You know, so again, we must begin to understand these things and begin to learn how to utilize the tools to help us dominate on this earth, because that's why we put here. And I say that in all humility is because we've been put here to dominate, we've been given dominion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we've been given dominion over the earth. So how are we going to dominate? You know, and there's two sides to that too. You can dominate positively or you can dominate negatively. That choice is up to you. But Hakohen gave, what a brilliant lecture. He gave us instruction and really gave us a understanding on who we are as a people and the power that we do have, because we wield an awesome power. But again, a lot of us don't use it. And a lot of us see ourselves as powerless instead of powerful. We're powerful people. But let's get right into it, because I want to get right into the lecture that I titled, in Viera here. This is a great parsha here, another great parsha that we can begin to understand things. At first, I titled this lecture, Let Go. But then I just went on and titled the lecture, Go. Because that's what's important to understand. The command, go. When you hear somebody say go, what does that mean to you? When you hear somebody say go, what does that mean to you? That means it's time to take some kind of action, right? It's time to do something. Don't just sit there and wallowing in your, the hole that you dug for yourself. It's time to go. Let's go. Let's go. And I think that's important to understand. Let go. Let's go. But there needs to be that point to where we get up and we go. We get up and we move. If you're complaining all the time, when are you going to have time to go? Because you're always complaining. And then, well, go. Oh, I don't like this, Rabbi. Go. Well, I'm not happy at this job. Go. You know what I mean? Go is a fix to a lot of people's so-called problems and situations. You just got to go. Go to a place. Find that place where you're going to have your peace, love, joy, and happiness. Go and do the things that you love to do, and you'll find that happiness that you want for yourself. Okay, big Papa, close the door. Papa study, okay? Let's see Mama do for you, huh? I'm not trying. So we must go. It's time to go. It's time to get up and go. You didn't like the way such and such treated you. Then go. Move on from, the past and how this person treated you and put yourself in the now, you see. So let's get right into it. So if you don't have the Abrahamic-Faith Bible or the Hidden Hebraic Scrolls, I would encourage you to get this Bible, because this is what I'm going to read from. When we look at our parsha, we're going to go right into the book of Exodus and read from chapter 6, and we'll start at verse 2. We're going to start at verse 2. Okay, go see Mama. She'll give me weed. Go see Mama. Close the door. Share. Close the door. So we start at Exodus, and we'll start reading Exodus in chapter 6 and verse 2. And Elohim spoke to Moshe and said to him, I am Yahweh, Baruch Hashem. Remember we talked about that earlier, that I am Yahweh. I appeared to Abraham and to Yitzhak and to Yaakov as El Shaddai, the mighty power, Baruch Hashem. Look at verse 4. But by my name, Yahweh, I was not known to them. I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, in which they were strangers. Wow, that's a coincidence, isn't it? How many of you consider yourself a stranger in the land that you're in right now? Now, I want you all to understand this as students of the Torah, is that our Torah, it's like our history as the people of the books repeats itself. How many of you understand that? It repeats itself. It really does. How can you talk about parent? It actually repeats itself, and it's just a continual cycle of repetition. I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it? We're told in our books that our powers don't change. He doesn't change. He's constant as the North Star, Baruch Hashem. He just don't change. Just like the sun always has been coming up, in the east, and where's it set in the west? It's just unchanging. These are universal principles, universal perfect law here stuff. This is good, great stuff here. But it's consistent. So again, if you see yourself as a stranger right now, I want you to understand this. Not only do you have, rights to inherit lands and strange lands out in the land, but we have rights to inherit lands wherever we are. So right now, you need to understand this, is that you can inherit land right now wherever you are. That's a part of your contract and the covenant. You know, you can own land, and I know a lot of you do right now. You own land where you are right now in the nations. You might say, well, Rabbi Kefa, I went to Israel and visited, but I don't see any lands that I own there. Again, but you come back to the shepherd nation that you've been placed in and you've been dispersed in the diaspora, and you own a house, you own lands, you own properties. That's who we are as a people. Now, mama give you beat. We own properties in the land of our pilgrimage. And that's a beautiful thing to do that. Don't sit there and say you have to wait on lands. Close the door, son. Close the door now, Sean. Don't sit there and think you have to wait for you to get back into the land of Israel before you can consider yourself a landowner. You can own lands now wherever you are. That's your decision. That's your choice. But it's also your right and your privilege and your birthright to be able to do so. So I would encourage you to get lands, because there's a lot of people telling you, oh no, don't buy lands. These lands are evil and they're wicked. We're going to have our land when we get to Israel. What? Anybody ever had that teaching taught to them? That, oh no, we shouldn't be getting these lands in these nations, and no, our land is in Israel. Well, my goodness. According to this, we're told that our forefathers were strangers in the land, and they took over some strangers' land. They didn't own their land. Some people had already owned it, and they were kicked out. So the Hebrews could take their land. Think about this for a minute now. So wherever you are a blessed people, and you have the rights, and you have the conditions to where if you desire lands, take them and utilize these lands to benefit the people where the nation that you're in. We're here to raise up these nations, not tear them down. I'm in the real estate business. Why? Because I understand if I buy houses, then and own these lands. Okay, so land. So what are you gonna do with the lands? Either you're gonna utilize the land. You're gonna put some sheep on there, some goats, and some cows. Here in Texas, we put them longhorns on there. You put some longhorns on there, put some cows on there. What else can you do with it? You can put apartment buildings and complexes on there, duplexes. You can put shopping plazas on there. What else can you do? B, go tell mommy B. And you can also do what? Yeah, you can farm it. You can also do what? You can also put houses on there. There's a lot of people that can't afford to buy a house, but they can afford to rent a house or rent an apartment. And what have you done? You have truly let your light shine by establishing places for people to have a roof over their head. Do you understand all this? This is really the nuts and bolts of us being lights into these nations. It's to help raise these nations up, not tear them down. You know what I mean? And to empower people, not to discourage people. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have, in your seeking and searching, for this truth of Moshe, of Moses, of Musa. You all have experienced people telling you that you cannot be or do have what you desire for yourself, but you can, and you can help people along the way. And that these people are Gentiles, but we can't deal with these people. That's all a bunch of pig water. And they're giving you wrong instruction and guidance, and that's totally wrong. It's totally wrong. That's not the right way. That's not how our ancestors did things. When you look at Abraham, that's not how he operated. He had his door open for all people, all kinds. He didn't discriminate. So look at the land of your pilgrimage today. And I will sit here and tell you that I am truly blessed. I am truly blessed because I understand that, I'm connected to can anybody name me the most powerful nations, the top 3 powerful nations in the world today? Can anybody name them? What's the most powerful superpower nations today? Anybody know them? Anybody take that? Because remember, we just read it in Exodus chapter 6, verse 3, that the Most High, he said that I appeared to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov as El Shaddai, the mighty power. Baruch Hashem. So I want to know, what are the powerful nations today? Because let me tell you something. The powerful nations today are actually where you're going to find, God's children, the children of Israel. Think about that for a minute. This is where they are, in these powerful nations. Because what does Israel do? They go in and they empower these nations and actually make them powerful. Look at ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt was built on the backs of who? On the backs of who, Mishbach? Can anybody tell me? On the backs of the Hebrews. The Hebrews made those bricks and empowered Egypt. Egypt was already a superpower, but the Hebrews went in there and made Egypt a superpower. To where all the other nations was coming to Egypt. To die for your responses, by the way. So I'm so happy and I'm so blessed, man. I'm so happy because I realize the power of our covenant. And I sit here and look at, do you know I own homes in Israel? No, I'm sorry, not in Israel, but I will. Right now I don't, but I did go to Israel. I own homes in America, US of A, and in China. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. Isn't that beautiful? Because it fits right in with what our covenants tell us. That our people going to have, we sojourners. So wherever we go, we should look to establish ourselves. Not in a negative way, not by protesting, and not by burning down buildings and stuff, but actually raising up buildings, raising up businesses, and raising the people up with us that are around us. Who gives a two hoots about their color or who they serve? But we in these nations to raise them up. We in these nations to raise them up. And not only me, but you hear my 2-year-old, Nakshan, he's going to do the same thing. I'm establishing that legacy for him also to understand that too. That, he's a resident of China and he's a resident of America. Baruch Hashem. Shanya, you're going to be able to say the same thing too. You can say the same thing too, Shanya. Baruch Hashem. So, we established in these superpower nations. Why? Because we serve the powers. That's just what it is. This stuff is real, Mishra. It's no joke. It's no game. And I'm not trying to puff myself up, but I'm just trying to help you guys understand, the power of these covenants and the power that we serve. It's not limited. A lot of folks want to put powers in a box. You can't do that. You want to put powers in a building. You can't do that. Powers is unlimited. And that's the way you and I need to think. When you connect with self, you'll realize that we're unlimited. There's nothing that there's no limitations placed on us as a people. There's none. And we got covenants to back it up. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. That's real, Israel. But we have to believe it's real and we have to make it real. And when I go back to China, we have plans to buy more houses. We're going to be buying more houses. And guess what? And rent them out to people who can't afford to buy a house. Do you see? Do you get it? And it's perpetual. So I'm not waiting for land rights as been from the tribe of Judah. I'm not waiting for land rights in Israel. I'm not waiting on that. And the covenants are not waiting on us to be back in Israel. The covenants are now, aren't they, Mishpah? So what's stopping us from continuing on and perpetuating the covenants outside of the nations? This is why we are light to the nations. It's because we're going to raise these nations that we up in. And we're going to raise them up. That's what we did in Egypt. Our ancestors, the Hebrews, they did it in Egypt. Why can we, and I argue this point, why can we not do that same thing today as descendants of the Hebrews today in 2022? Wow. In 2022. So I would encourage you to go and do marvelous things for these nations. Don't sit here and listen to that malarkey like President Biden say malarkey. Don't sit here and listen to that malarkey that they're giving you on YouTube about, the Hebrews, we slaves and we this. I'm not no slave. I didn't pick nobody's cotton. No, my ancestors did. But I'm not nobody's slave, Brother Davis. I didn't pick nobody's cotton. I didn't do it. And I don't have cotton and slave man mentality like they want you to have. And I don't reside in this anger mode. How many of you seen it on YouTube? These so-called people that call themselves Hebrews or put themselves under the umbrella of Moshe, of Moses, they sit here and they just hateful people. They not happy people on there. And they fussing and they cussing and they complaining. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you don't represent. I mean, Abraham and Moses and them, they all looking like, who the hell are these people? This is not what we represent, and this is totally not who we are as people. I'm not going to run these people under the bus. I love these Gentiles, man. Gentiles have been great to me. And thus, the powers that I serve, the powers of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is great to them as well. By utilizing us as a people, they will never see is the closest they will come to the Most High of Israel is you and I. That's the closest they're going to come. And so what do they see? What are you publishing? We're told in our holy books to go out and publish the name of the Most High. Publish the name. But how are you publishing it? What are you doing? Are you going and you raising that nation up and you're tearing it down? So when I look at Exodus chapter 6 verse 4, where he talks about my covenant is with him, is with them. That covenant is with me. To establish my covenant is with them. To give them the land of Canaan. Well, that's not the only land that we can have, by the way, Mishpah. That's not the only land that we can inherit. Because my son Nakshan is going to inherit lands in Israel. He's going to inherit lands in China. He's going to inherit lands in America. And we're working on South America as well. Down there in Brazil, in Argentina, and some Costa Rica. Go inherit lands. Why? So we can do great and marvelous things. Don't limit yourselves, Mishpah. Right? Oliver, you unlimited. Nehemiah, you unlimited. Lion King, you are unlimited. Don't let them put yourself in a box and say, oh, this is where you are and this is what you see, and it's not so much them doing it, but it's the conditioning that we have received that we limit ourselves. We limit our great brain capacity. We just totally limit ourselves. And what is our Kohen teaching us? How to open it all up to where you can utilize and optimize that brain at full capacity and utilize all of it. And don't just leave these black spaces up there just not used. These dark spaces in the brain. No, we're utilizing all of it. For me, it's either all or nothing. That's what it is. Either I'm not going to use nothing, I'm going to use all of it. And I'm going to learn to utilize all of it for the benefit of me and my family, and thus benefiting everybody that's around me. And everybody that I come in contact with, I bring that positive energy that you hear in my big mouth right now. I bring that with me where I go. I don't hide nothing. I'm not going to shuck and jive you. I'm going to call it what it is. I'm going to call a spade a spade. If you don't like it, then that's what it is. That's how I see it. You can see it a different way. That's totally fine. I respect that. But I'm on this earth with a purpose. I don't know about you. I'm on this earth with a purpose and a plan. Ooh, Brukashin, that sounds like a great lecture. A purpose and a plan. I'm on this earth I'm just not here going through the motions. I'm just not here wasting periods of my life, just wasting away. I'm not here to waste. I'm not here to depend on this earth. I'm here to let Mother Earth, to take from Mother Earth and also give back. And understand that that's a circulation. I'm going to give you something simple as this. How many of you guys in this room listen on Facebook, you listen on YouTube, or you're live in this room, how many of you recycle? How many of you got the recycle can and you actually recycling? That's one of the first steps that you can begin to do and teach this to your children to help Mother Earth. And you got to learn, we got to recycle all this and be mindful of that. We got to recycle the earth. I know the nations they caught on. They realized that we got to help the planet. We got to help Mother Earth. We all in this together. That's important. Just to recycle. And you take the trash out. And we also composting at the house. Over here, we compost all of our scraps and stuff. We actually compost that, and it makes this nice tea after it sits up in the sun for a while. And then we give it to our garden and our vegetables and all that we're growing. And it's a whole system. We put it in the soil. And we composting as well because we understand it's a cycle. It's in circulation. It's currency. It's all energy. And we all got to move together. And that's how you'll find that harmony and that peace. Brother Davis calls it the circle of life. Shabbat shalom, not Sean. That's how you get the circle of life. And it's beautiful. Once you understand the circle. Rabbi Zachariah said, great fertilizer. Oh, indeed it is. And I'm telling you, you look at our garden right now. I'm looking at it right now in the backyard. My goodness, we eating stuff. My wife we go and pick stuff out of the garden and we cook it instantly. That's beautiful. You know what you're getting. You know what I mean? Right out of our garden. And it produces for us year round. I love that. That's how I'm going to dominate the earth. And this is how I'm going to give back because I understand it's a cycle. And I need to be responsible. I got to get out here and go and be responsible for earth. Right, my Sean? B, you know, I said B. And that's very important to understand, is that we all have our role to play. But it had to be taught to me. I had to begin to understand this, and Kohen did that for me. The land of my pilgrimage is great, Mishpahah. I'm not a complainer. And if the land of your pilgrimage is not great, then you need to make it great. You need to ask yourself, well, what can I do to assist it, to be a positive role model, to leave a positive legacy and not all this negativity around. Don't jump in those groups, man. Don't get involved with those groups. Just look at your environment around you and see how you can make it better. Better it. Oh man, we need some housing here. We need to get some housing for people so they can have a roof over their head. Oh, I need to start this company so I can employ people that are around here and empower them with employment and with knowledge so that they can, not teach them to, not give them a fish, but go teach them how to fish, Baruch Hashem. You know what I mean? These are things that we concern ourselves with in these mighty nations that we're in, in these great nations that we're in. I encourage that. Remember, you are a stranger in these lands. The only person that can't call himself a stranger is the one that's already in Israel now. They're not a stranger, that's home. Anybody living in Israel in the room, then you're home. But everybody else, you're a stranger in these lands. See yourself that way. And you're just passing through. So, don't waste all your energy on the strange things that these people are doing in their land that you're a stranger in. You're just passing through. You're a stranger, man. A lot of folks, they're complaining and waste a lot of their energy on the strange thing that these people are doing. Well, it's not strange to them. This is their land. This is their nation. This is what they do. Don't come in here and try to bring and institute Torah law in these strange lands. That's not your role. That's not your place. You're to be welcoming and opening to all, just like Abraham was. My forefather, your forefather. We got to be open door policy. And if you don't like where you're at, then get up and go. Go to some place where you can find your happiness and your peace and your love and your joy. Go find that place. Don't just settle. Don't limit yourself. Remember, you unlimited. Unless you're telling yourself you have limitations, then quit telling yourself that. Or unless you like limitations. If you like limitations, then I'll leave you to it. I'll leave you in peace to your limitations. But understand, you don't have to limit yourself. You're unlimited. Let's keep reading. Exodus chapter 6, verse 5. I'm reading from the Abrahamic-Faith Bible, the Hidden Truth We Break Scrolls. Sito Yap, you want to get these scrolls, you can find them on Amazon. The Hidden Truth We Break Scrolls, look for them on Amazon. This is a great Bible if you don't already have it. Add it to your library. Utilize it in your studies. Oh, great. Then you already know what's going down. You already know. You already know how awesome that Bible really is. It just, there's nothing that can touch it. And I'm the student of Kohen, but I'm just saying, I know, full disclosure, I'm a student of Kohen, but that is the best Bible in the world. I'm going to put it to you that way. That is the best Bible in the world. I love it. So let's keep reading from Exodus chapter 6, verse 4. But by my name, Yahweh, I was not known of them. I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, which they were strangers. Oh, beautiful. We strangers today, so we still should be, we should still be soaking up lands. It's a beautiful thing. Verse 5, I've also heard the groanings of the children of Israel, whom the Mitzrim, the Egyptians, keep in bondage. And I am mindful of my covenant to bring it to pass. What does the Most High say? The Most High, the powers of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the powers of Yashrael. He says, I am mindful of my covenant to bring it to pass. And this is what I highlighted that. Because you know why? We too need to be mindful. Always be mindful of my covenant. Say it. Say, I'm mindful of my covenant. You need to be mindful of your covenant. What I just explained to you earlier about land rights, you need to be mindful of your covenant because those land rights just don't pertain to Israel. Those land rights pertain to wherever you are. If I'm in China, I got land in China. If I'm in America, I got land in America. Because I understand I got land rights and I'm mindful of it. So I'm going to take and I'm going to use the words out of our holy books. Be mindful of your covenant. Baruch Hashem. Be mindful. Be mindful. Sitaya saying that I used the Sefer in conjunction with the scrolls. That's great. That's great. Great combination. Be mindful of your covenant, Mishpah. Be mindful of your rights. Be mindful of the powers that you serve. Because if the Most High is mindful of his covenant, then we should be mindful. Now, we're just waking up to some of this mindful, right? We've been asleep. Remember what I said in this lecture? It's so very true. Israel, wake up. Wake up, Israel, and be mindful of your rights. Israel, you have some powerful rights. And you have a mighty power behind those powerful rights. You have mighty powers behind those powerful rights. Let me put it to you that way. Power is plural. Baruch Hashem. Be mindful of that. So when you get in those moments, like in verse 5 of Exodus chapter 6, where it says, I heard, you get in those moments where you start hearing the groanings. We're going to keep reading because it gets deeper. Look at Exodus chapter 6, verse 6. I highlighted verse 5 earlier this week, Baruch Hashem. Yeah, we some highlighters together. We highlight. Because that's a highlight that we need to remember. Be mindful. We got to be mindful. Don't forget. Let's keep reading Exodus 6 and 6. Therefore say to the children of Israel, it's talking to you and me, I am Yahweh, and I will bring you from under the burdens of Mitzrayim, the burdens of the Mitzrim, the Egyptians. And I will rescue you from their bondage, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments. Ooh, Baruch Hashem. Take that verse and utilize it whatever situation you're going through. And you see a lot of negativity around you. Exodus 6:6 will handle it, and it'll make you mindful of the contract, of the covenants. Be mindful. You got the I will statements that they call it. The Judaism like to talk about this a lot, about the I wills. The I wills, the promises. Let's go on in verse 7 of Exodus chapter 6. And I will take you as my people, and I will be your power. You have a power. You're not a weakling. You have powers. You have powers. And you shall know that I am Yahweh your power, which brings you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrim, of the Egyptians, of the Mitzrim. So whatever burden you may think you have, like it's told in the books, his yoke is easy and his burden is light. Understand that you have powers with you. You're not going through this alone. A lot of people say, Rabbi, I'm alone. No, you're not. You're never alone. And you should never be lonely. Because you have powers with you to help you in those times where you're weak and where the burdens come in. You see, I told this to somebody this week, and I was to several people this week actually, is that the reason why you fall down is so that you can learn how to get back up. Think about that for a minute. Because there's a lot of folks that stay in the fall down mode. But the reason why you fall down is so that you can learn how to get back up. Think about that for a minute. I tell that to my son Nakshan all the time. He's falling down all the time. But when he was learning how to walk, he would fall down and he'd look at me to see what my response was going to be. And I sit there and tell him, hey, you fall down so you can get back up. You fall down so you can get back up. You fall down so you can get back up. And I kept repeating that to him. And I tell him every day, Nakshan, you're a Hebrew. Nakshan, you're a Hebrew. He just looks at me and he smiles. I say, Nakshan, you're a Hebrew. Nakshan, you're a Hebrew. I didn't have nobody telling me that. Because you know why I'm doing that? Because just like we read in Exodus chapter 6, verse 5, I want Nakshan to be mindful of the covenants of Yisrael, of Israel, and who he is, and where he fits in it all. My goodness, I remember back in the day, I used to read my King Jimmy, and my father, he made it a point that every night, I mean, this was like this in your house, every night at a certain time, I think it was like 9:30, because 10 o'clock we had to be in bed. By 9:30, all the family would go to the living room, and my father would read from the Bible. Because, we were Christians at the time, and, we believed in reading through the Bible. You know how you have a little section where you can read through the Bible in a year? Well, he would take the little thing, we'd follow through, and we would read accordingly to the schedule. And we'd all go in the living room by 9:30. And we would sit there and we would read the Bible. But when he would be reading, and we'd read from the old, what we knew of as the Old Testament at that time. And he sit there on this person begat this person. I'm like, dang, why is this stuff is not even, how does this pertain to my life? How is this relevant to who I am as a person? Because I always thought, well, wow, man, these Jews are awesome. The Hebrews are awesome, man. Who are these people today? And I thought they were, the Ashkenazi. So I was like, man, I want to know some of these people. I want to bless those people because the Bible says if I bless those people, then I'm going to be blessed. So I wanted in on it. Shabbat shalom to you, Root Source. Welcome to the room. I wanted in on it. I was like, man, I want in on this. Never to even know that we were reading about the history of my ancestors. This is my history, Baruch Hashem. Now that I look back on it and reflect it, and I should think, well, what's so important about knowing who begat who and who begat who? Because that's how the history was passed on from father to son, to father to son, to father to son, to father to son, to father to son. That's how it was passed on. And those names are important, aren't they? Because they connect us to who we are and what our history really is as a people. And I thank the Kohen and the Gate for bringing that across. I can remember, just like yesterday, I'm looking on YouTube, and this man is saying, oh, you blacks and you browns, you read this Bible, and you don't understand that that's your history. This is your history. I'm like, what the hell? Who is this man looking like a Muslim telling me that the blacks and browns are the people of the books? This is your history. I was like, whoa. That was an earth shaker for me. I don't know about for you guys. So it's so important to understand that. Rusor says, why not keep the lunar Shabbat? You can keep whatever Shabbat you want, Rusor. It's up to you. We're in the nations. We have a lot of flexibility. We here in this room, we like to roll with the most ancient calendar that's out there. We like to roll with Hanok's calendar, Enoch's calendar, and we're solar. So yeah, that's why we really like to keep the solar calendar, Baruch Hashem. So it's very, very important for us to understand that. Yes, my son. Okay, you go there. So it's very, very important for us to understand that and be mindful. Always be mindful, of our covenant. Just like the Most High, the God of Israel, is mindful of His covenant. We need to be mindful. Right, Nakshan? Oh, you come here, Papa. Oi, Papa, baby. Yeah, we do weave in the rip. Papa teach now, huh? You see? You say Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Say Shabbat Shalom. Okay, so we're going to keep it moving. So we must be mindful. We must be mindful, Mishpachah. Let's look at Exodus chapter 8. Let's look at Exodus chapter 8 Exodus chapter 6, verse 8. We'll look at verse 8. And I will bring you to the land which I swore to give to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Yaakov, and I will give it to you as an inheritance. I am Yahweh, Baruch Hashem. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Yahweh spoke. Now, here we go. This is the part that I want to get to. It's very, very important. You see, because a lot of folks, they waste a lot of energy on things that are totally irrelevant when you look at the grand scheme of things, When you look at who we are and what we desire for ourselves and how we want peace, love, joy, and happiness at the end of the day, then those are the baseline settings for all humanity, to be at peace, love, and joy and happiness with themselves. And however you need to get there, then you find it and you get there. It may not be with the God of Israel, with the Most High. It may be with some other God, but as long as you're there and there. And this is why I have a high respect for the Gentiles in the nation that I'm dispersed in. You know, I like to surround myself with a lot of people that are happy and at peace with themselves. And if they're happy and at peace with their cross, then so be it. I encourage that. Because I understand I'm not in this nation to usher in a Torah government. That's not my place. That's not my role. You know what I mean? So just like my grandmama used to say, I'm going to just mind my business. I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to take care of my business, the business of my household, my family. That's what's important to establish. You see? And so this is the point that I want to get to right here. The whole key of things. You know, we get all of these beautiful things being told, Moshe being told all these wonderful things. Look at Exodus chapter 6, verse 9. And Moshe and Moses and Musa spoke thus to the children of Israel, but they would not heed Moshe. They would not heed Moses. They would not listen. Why, pray tell, do you think that they would not listen? Now, the Torah is telling me that they would not listen. And I guarantee you, this is not a consensus thing. I'm pretty sure some of the people heard this and were jumping for joy and were dancing like David, like, hell yeah, it's about time. We've been waiting on this. I've been petitioning for this. I've been visualizing this occurring, and now it's time. Whilst, you know, there will be some that don't agree, because you must understand this if you did not know this already, that when we came out of the land of Egypt, not everybody came out. Some Hebrews stayed. Some Hebrews were happy with where they were at, and they actually stayed. Do you all understand that? So, remember, let's not group everybody. You don't sit here and group everybody all together because lottie-dottie, everybody didn't go. You see, understand that going forward. So it's true. A lot of people stayed behind. And just like we're told in our holy books, the strangers that were among them, a lot of people that were strangers to the way of Moshe, they actually went with the Hebrews. They saw the power of the God of Israel, and they actually went. They went. They left Egypt and said, you know what? We're going to serve this power. I like this power better. And they went. And this is another one of the greatest things of our exile. One of the greatest things is that we sit here and we go and do this Torah, and we're going to attract people. People are going to come to us. That's what light does. It attracts. Light don't sit on the street corner shouting people down. That's not what light does. I'm light. I don't know about you guys. Anybody want to affirm light with me? Put up a capital L. I'm light. I do not know about you guys, but I am light. So I'm not going to sit here and get on the street corner and shout people down. That's not what light does. Light don't speak. And so I don't speak. I just go out and do. And when you do that, people are going to be attracted to you. You're going to attract people to you who may not be descendants of the Hebrews, but they like this way of living and they like this life. And they want more of this life. And they come to it, not Sean. Not Sean? Yeah, we're going to go do B. And they come to it. And they want, and they want to know more about, well, Brother Davis, why are you such at peace with yourself when all hell is breaking loose around you? Why do you have such love for these people? You know, be they same gender marriage. Why do you love these people? Because that's who I am. I'm not judgmental. I don't sit on a judgment seat. I sit here and respect people's rights. I sit here and I respect people's freedoms, however they want to be free. You understand what I'm saying? And that's real. And people going to be attracted. And be like, well, why are you not running with the rest of the crowd? You're different. I want some of that different. Why do you love everybody? Why do you show such compassion to people? Because that's who I am. Why are you always happy, Brother Davis? They love to say that with Oliver. Why are you always happy? Nothing bothers you. Well, why be sad? Why let situations bring you down? When even though you can go through those same situations, right, Nakshan? And you can be happy, right, Nakshan? Yeah, we're going to go do we, huh? And you can be happy. Why are you always smiling, right? Well, why frown? It takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. So I just want to use less muscles. I mean, come on, you can take anything and you can turn it for the good. because there's good in everything. Sometimes you should have to dig a little bit deeper for it. Sometimes you may not understand whatever situation you're going through at the time, but when you look back, you realize there's good in every situation that you've already been through. And the ones you're going through now, and the ones you'll go through in the future. You just got to find the good in it, and you got to take it and you turn it to the good. You remember reading the holy books? And I'm paraphrasing. What you meant for evil, the Most High going to take it and turn it to the good. You're going to take it and turn it to the good. What was meant for evil, what was meant to destroy you, is actually going to raise you up and build you up. Baruch Hashem. I see that with virus mumbo jumbo. What they meant for evil and death and destruction, I've taken that in my life and with my family turned it to the good. We've actually prospered during this time. I don't know about you guys, but we prospered. My family has prospered during this time. I haven't got no freaking virus. We've prospered because we don't focus on that. Why? Because I'm mindful of who I am. And I want you all to be mindful of who you are. So Moses spoke these things in Exodus chapter 6, verse 9. But he said the children of Israel would not heed because of anguish of spirit and cruel bondage. And that's the same mentality, womantality that's today. That anguish of spirit. Their spirit is anguish because they don't even know how to connect with self. So their spirit is just all over the place, just running here and there and everywhere, and just trying to connect to the next quote unquote big thing, or what's popular out there. The anguish of spirit and cruel bondage. Oh, can we not talk about that one on YouTube? Oh yeah, and y'all beat us and y'all killed and raped our women and blah blah blah. The anguish, cruel bondage. You're stuck in cruel bondage mode till you never get to the blessing. How many of you understand that? And a lot of people, and we was this and we was that. Well, so what? What are we now? What are you right now? You know what I mean? Who cares about, and we was this and that. What are you now? Why? Because they focus on the cruel bondage that they can never get into creating peace, love, joy, and happiness, creating and manifesting marvelous things in their life. Why? Because cruel bondage, cruel bondage, cruel bondage, cruel bondage. And then, so you get all that, and then that's a recipe and formula, just like Moshe said. Just like we're told in Exodus chapter 6, verse 9. You can't heed anything. You can't see anything. You're blinded to truth. You're blinded to what the facts really are on the ground about Moshe's government, you see? And way of living and way of life, because you're so blinded, you cruel bondage and your anguish of spirit. Oh, Rabbi, but you don't know how he hurt me. So what? He gone now. Hallelujah. Give thanks. Raise the roof. He's no longer there. So why are you still focused on it? You see, when you get focused on the anguish of spirit and the cruel bondage, you can never get on to heeding what's going to truly be your blessing and what's going to take you to the next level of what you really desire. Because you're focusing on all the negativity around you and what happened in the past. HaKohen gave this marvelous meditation for you to deal with that past and come to grips with it and forgive it and then go. Go do what? Go do what makes you happy, what gives you peace, what gives you love, what gives you joy, right, Nakshan? B, yay, you can go to B. You see? And that's what we're going to do. You know how long I waited for this son on my lap right here? You know how long I waited for him? Over 30 years I waited on the son. But I kept telling myself, I'm going to have a son. 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 And I, just like I always said, and then I would, I planned everything out. I said, when I have this son, I'm going to name him Nakshan. Like 4 years ago, I said, his name will be Nakshan, son of Aminadab. Because I read in our history that Nakshan was the first one to go into the Sea of Reeds. Before the water began to part, Nakshan was in the water already. Water hadn't parted yet. While everybody else telling Moses, man, Moses, you sold us a raw deal. Nakshan was in the water because Moses said go, and Nakshan went. Nakshan may not have knew how to swim, but Nakshan got in that water because he believed. And he heeded the command, go. So my son right here, he's 2 years old now. He's sitting on my lap listening right now. His name is not Sean. Just like I planned. Just like I told you, Mishpah, I'm here on this earth with a plan and a purpose. I have a purpose. All of you, too. You should have a purpose. You better have a purpose and a plan. And see your plan fulfilled now. Now, Sean didn't come to like 25, 30 years later. But he's here. And he's talking to me right now. And he's sitting on my lap. And he want to go do wee. Right now, Sean? Yeah, we're going to go do wee. And he's here. Why? It's because he's the next generation. He's the next generation of Hebrew that's going to come up and do marvelous things and help many people. I tell him that every day. Now, Sean, you're going to help many people. You're going to help a lot of people, son. I tell him that every day. Baruch Hashem. I tell him that every day. You're going to help many people. Now, Sean, you're a Hebrew. You're a Hebrew, now, Sean. Baruch Hashem. He'll know who he is. He'll be mindful of who he is. I didn't get this. I got this later on, but that's okay. Because that was not my place to do that. Now is my place. Now is my time. Right now, Sean? Yay. We're going to do B. Yay. Yay. So it wasn't my time. So why don't we heed? I tell you why. It's because we're not connected with self. So the spirit is in anguish, and all we think about is the things that have affected our lives in the past. Just like our forefathers did, these Hebrews. Why didn't they connect? Why didn't they put the dots together and say, oh, wow, it's time. We've been anticipating and waiting on this time, and it's here. Now. Now it's time for us to take action. Now it's time for the powers of Israel to take us out of this bondage. Now it's time for us to go. But they couldn't see it. Why couldn't they see it? Anguish of spirit and cruel bondage. Oh, Rabbi, you don't know how they treated me. You don't know how she did me wrong, Rabbi. You don't know. You got to let all that go. Well, how do I let it go, Rabbi? Wow, what a coincidence. Our Kohen in the gate just gave you a great meditation to let all that stuff go. So you got to let go of a lot of things to go. You know what I mean? The wise will understand. But you must let go of a lot of things to go. A lot of baggage got to stay behind. Right, Brother Davis? So that you can go. You see, a lot of us are overwhelmed with trying to carry baggage. We're taking all this baggage that we don't need, and it's weighing us down. And it's a stumbling block because we lose focus on what's really important in this life that you're going around this time. You know what I mean? So the Most High is hearing all this. Look at Exodus chapter 6, verse 10. And Yahweh spoke to Musa, saying, what did Yahweh say? And Yahweh spoke to Musa, saying what? You want to be with Papa? You want to go down? Okay, you say Mama. And Yahweh spoke to Musa, saying, look at verse 11 of Exodus chapter 6. Go in. Wow, there's that word go. Not, okay, well, we're going to figure out what we're going to do with these people that don't want to heed, blah, blah, blah. No. It was this. Go in and speak to Pharaoh, king of the Mitzrayim, king of Egypt, that he must let the children of Israel go out of his land. You see, you got to go in and then you got to go out. And it's a cycle. That verse right there is a powerful verse. When you begin to understand it, you got to go in and you got to go out. It's not about, okay, well, let's deal with the ones that can't heed. Let's try to do a special something for them to really get them to understand and convince them to come over from the dark side to the light. Ain't time for all that. If they don't want the force won't be with them. You know what I mean? If they don't want the force, then the force won't be with them. But if you want the force, then the force will be with you. And the force will protect you. I remember I was just watching Rogue, Star Wars Rogue. Man, what's that guy's name? He's one of my favorite Chinese actors, but he was in there and he was blind in the movie. And what he kept saying, I'm one with the force and the force is one with me. I'm one with the force and the force is with me. He kept saying that. Anybody watch the Rogue, Star Wars Rogue? I mean, I love some Star Wars movies. But he kept saying that. And it worked for him because he didn't get shot. And the dude was blind and he was able to channel that force within him and utilize it for his benefit. And for the benefit of others, and to complete the mission. You all have a mission on this earth, on this planet. What's going to help you to complete your mission is that you have to refocus and you have to learn how to focus on what's important. You lies in the force. What's that force? It's that powers within you. That's the force. The force is real, Mishpah. Whether you believe it or not, it really is real. If you want to believe it's real, it's real. If you don't want to believe it's real, then it's not real. That's just what it is at the end of the day, you see. Whether you believe it or don't believe it, you are right. And that's so true. So when we go back and we look at and we really break down the response by the Most High and the instruction given by the Most High after hearing all this negativity, because that's what it was, negativity. That's what it was. The people they didn't want to heed. They're rejecting this. They don't want no part of it, maybe out of fear, I don't know. And that's how they're trying to do too with this corona. They're trying to keep a lot of people in fear to get them to do whatever they want them to do. The Egyptians tried it, and it worked on a lot of Hebrews. They kept you in fear. Don't be in fear of anything. You don't have to fear nothing. You have the DNA of El Shaddai. You have the DNA of powers. What you have to fear? Nothing. So you carry on with your life. That's what we've been doing, Miles. My babe, we've been carrying on with our life. Corona, no corona. We're going to live life in abundance and that peace and the love and the joy. Baruch Hashem. That's my mindset. That's who I am. That's what I feel. I don't feel fear. Fear can't touch me. Like MC Hammer say, fear can't touch me. That's real. So, Exodus chapter 6, verse 11, go in and then go out. That's what you must do. You must go in, you must go in, and then you must go out. Let's read that verse. That's a powerful verse. Regardless of whether you want to, whatever's going on around you, your surroundings, go in and speak to Pharaoh, king of the Mitzrayim, the Egyptian, of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, that he must let the children of Israel go out of his land. Go in and go out. And guess what? That's repetitive. That's a cycle. That's actually a formula. What you just read right there is a universal formula. Go in and go out. That's circulation. Go in and go out. And that's in everything in nature. I don't know if you noticed this, but people are always coming in and going out of your life. You eat food in your mouth and guess where it comes out? The other end, doesn't it? This is a universal principle that people read the verse, they don't see it. They don't see it. Why? It's because their eyes are not open to it. But it's real. You go in and you go out. And guess what? This is all action. This is something that you do. This is something that you do. You go in and you come out. You have to take action. That's what light does. It just does. You go in and you come out. You go in and you come out. You go in a relationship, you come out of a relationship. You go in another relationship, you come out. You go in and you come out. You circulate, you circulate, you circulate. And that's how you move. Brother David said, you make me want to go get an In-N-Out burger. You go in and you come out. You circulate. Just like that In-N-Out burger. You circulate, baby. You're gonna take that In-N-Out burger in, and believe me, that In-N-Out burger gonna come out the other way. That's just what it's gonna do. You go in, you come out. You go in, you come out. You go in, you come out. But sometimes we have to let go to go. You have to let go to go. And there'll be those times and there's those moments in your life, and you'll realize it. You'll have to see it. And there's some things you got to let go to go. That's what our Kohen's lecture was all about at the end of the day. He teaches you, how you got to release some things. You got to let go of some stuff so that you can move on. Because those things can be a stumbling block in your capacity to manifest and to have a life of peace, love, joy, and happiness at the end of the day. Because that's what it all is at the end of the day. And money facilitates a lot of that. It's not the end all, but it does facilitate. It's a great facilitator of peace, love, joy, and happiness, baby. And me and money have a friendship that's going to last forever. That's just what it is. We have a great friendship and a great friendship. That's just what it is. Because, money circulates, and you got to keep that in circulation, keep it flowing, in and out. Just like we talked about. Go in, go out. Go in, go out. Go in, go out. The wise won't understand that, really. But in the process of that, and to really keep it circulating good, some things you have to let go of. You have to let go of a lot of things that you're hanging on to the past. You have to let go of that anguish of spirit. Your spirit is no longer anguish. You have to let go of that cruel bondage. You got to let go of it so that you can go. You can go in and you can go out. You can go in and you can go out. Once you develop your system, your technique for yourself, because we are individuals, like we talked about last Shabbat. We're all individuals. You're all unique in your own way. Once you develop your technique, then it's just rinse and repeat, right? It's just rinse and repeat. Brother Davis will sit there and tell you right now, he just had, in his lifespan, he just haven't eaten one In-N-Out burger. I guarantee you, Brother Davis has been to In-N-Out burger more than one time. Do you get it? So it's a cycle. Man, Brother Davis loves those In-N-Out burgers. They're really good, so he's going to go back for another one. It's just a cycle, and it just repeats, and it repeats. Understand that. That's a beautiful thing. When you jump up out of religion and then you get into the natural law, the perfect law of things, the universal principles, oh, wow. And how we connected into it all. And you go out in the day and you look at the sky and how blue it is or how cloudy it is, don't matter. And you look at the sun. And at night you look at the stars and you see how significant you are and how unlimited you are in your role in the whole of the universes and the Milky Ways and the galaxies and the black holes and this planet that you've been given to me, It's a whole beautiful thing. But it's all about you understanding that you have to take control and don't fall and be hoodwinked by anguish of spirit and cruel bondage, because that is a deterrent. That's kryptonite to you heeding. Heeding what? Heeding what you really want for yourself. And at the end of the day, that's what we have to ask ourselves. The most important question in our relationship with ourselves is, what do I really want? Like Sitar, y'all, if I ask you right now, what do you like? What do you love? I mean, could you tell me? Like, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? Well, what do you like? What do you know about yourself? That's what's important. When you realize what you want, then it becomes easy after that. Because you're not out here just you're out here trying to please other people in what they think you want and what they think you need. Because then that's fake life. We want to live real life. Like, what do I want? I don't want to live a fake life. I want to get to the grits and the greens about who I am as a person and what I truly desire. Number one, I love family. I've always been I'm big on family. I love family. Family is important to me. I love my wife. Oh, I just love her with all the love that's in the world and some. And it grows daily. Of course, I love my son, and I love people. I have a love for people. And I guess that's why I'm in the medical field. I just love taking care of people. Seeing people broken, made whole, and sit there and watch and have a hand in that. Because we're talking about holy books that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Kingdom of heaven is right in your hand. What you doing with it? It's not somewhere in the sky. People don't understand that verse, but the kingdom of heaven is at your hand. Your heaven is now in your hand. What are you doing with it? People don't get that verse. They still waiting for this heaven to come down from the clouds, Brother Davis, along with that swing set. And it's not happening. And they don't realize that the heaven and hell is actually right now. It's now. In their life now. And people don't see that. That's why we're told in our books that people will be blinded. And a lot of Israel is just not going to wake up. And that's just the facts on the ground. The Kohen is crying out for Israel to wake up, but a lot of them won't. They won't heed. Just like we read in this verse. Do you see? Do you see how our history is just a cycle and it repeats itself? The Israelites just won't heed. The Hebrews, Descendants of the Hebrews today in 2022, they won't heed the call of the Kohen. Just like Moses, he was a Kohen, Aaron was a Kohen, and they didn't heed him. They couldn't, they were too far, in their anguish of spirit and cruel bondage that they couldn't go. And they couldn't let go. They couldn't go. They couldn't go. They said, we want to stay. And that's just like a lot of Hebrews today. They're going to die in their not natural state, not who they were intended to be, because they don't want to go. They're happy in Christianity. They're happy in Catholicism. They're happy being a Muslim. They're happy being atheists. They're happy just doing and being whatever they want to be, and you got to leave them to it. This is why the mandate is not to go out here and tell the world about the Torah of Moshe. No. Let the world come to the Torah of Moshe. They got to seek the Torah of Moshe to find it. Let them come to the Torah of Moshe. And then the Torah of Moshe will reveal itself to them. It's not our mandate. You on YouTube. You listening on Facebook. It's not our mandate as the children of Israel to go out here and tell everybody that, you're not living to the mandates of the Most High. That's not our mandate. Because these people don't serve the Most High. The Most High is foreign to them. And let it stay that way. And all due respect. Brother David said, respect the creation. Baruch Hashem. Truly respect it. I respect people's freedoms. Because I have a house in a country where you don't have freedoms. I have a house in a communist country. Think about that for a minute. Communist country. And believe me, their communism is God. But I respect their government. I don't go in there telling them, man, look, man, y'all need some freedoms like America. Saying y'all, we can't go in there like that, right? They already got cameras on us. We can't roll in there like that, Shane, y'all. But you don't go in, and you go in there and you respect their way of life and their way of living. And you go in there and you establish and you make it better for them. And some of the most humblest, happiest people you ever want to meet in your life. Giving, caring, compassionate people is those Chinese, man, I'm telling you. Guess that's why I married one. Right on top. They tap your phones immediately, right? Before you know it, you got people coming to pick you up. Shoot. No, I ain't talking about all that. I just want to come here and eat your noodles, I just want to come here and eat your noodles, Enjoy some of your duck, you know what I'm saying? Drink some of your beer over here. That's all. I'm not over here trying to get in. No, I'm just trying to, make your people happy. Let them take a few pictures of us, right, y'all, and keep y'all happy. No, I'm not over here trying to rock nobody's boat. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're not in these nations to do that. I'm a stranger in your land. I'm just trying to be a partaker of your benefits and benefit your country as well. Baruch Hashem. That's what we are. So when we're given a commandment to, again, let's keep reading. I want to finish. I need to finish up here. Exodus chapter 6, verse 12. And Moshe spoke before Yahweh, saying, the children of Israel have not heeded me. How shall Pharaoh heed me? For I am without eloquence. Now, this humanizes Moses. Moses was a man. Moses is and was, he's a man. He's a human being. You see? And this is his logic setting in. You see, you begin to listen to logic and then you lose it. And then, even after all that, I'm closing with Exodus chapter 6, verse 13. Then Yahweh spoke to Moshe and Aaron and gave them a command for the children of Israel and for Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim. Don't lose your focus. The Most High didn't lose his focus. So even though all this is going on, all this negativity, they ain't going to do it. He's not going to do it. I can't even talk right. How we going to make all this happen? The Most High still, hey, go. The go hasn't changed. The go is the go is the go. Go in and go out. And in between, sometimes we need to let go so that we can go in and we can go out. So on that note, I think I'll wrap it up for the Shabbat. We've been at it for a while, but I'll wrap it up for the Shabbat, and I'll say Shabbat Shalom and Shalom Shalom, and that In-N-Out burger is sounding kind of nice there too, Brother Davis. But we need to go in and we need to go out. This is what we need to do. We need to and we need to continually do it and continually do it and continue and keep it moving. When you get your current right, you don't need to change it. You don't need to change it. You just, when you're flowing, just keep it moving. It's gonna vary for each and every one of us. It's not gonna be the same. The techniques may be different, but the outcome will be the same because we will meet our mark. And we will meet our manifestation, and then we'll just keep it rolling. That's what we'll do. We'll keep it rolling. And every day we get better at it, and we learn something new. Always leave yourself open to learn. Always leave yourself open as a student and receptive to wisdom, to Im-Hokmah, mother wisdom, so you can learn. Baruch Hashem. And get better guidance, and to enhance things and to make them better. So we're gonna wrap it up for the Shabbat. I say Shabbat Shalom and Shalom Shalom to you all. Our festival Passover is coming up next here pretty soon, so I'm already gearing up for Pesach, for Passover, getting everything together, and that's where I'm heading right now. That's where my mindset is on our festival of Passover. So just getting all the necessaries lined up and itinerary. Me and the wife talked about the other night, and Chinese New Year. Shane, y'all wish your wife a wonderful Chinese New Year coming up. February, right? February 1st, I think somewhere around there. Chinese New Year festivities over here as well. Keep it moving, Baruch Hashem. So we give thanks to all of you, and we say Shabbat Shalom and Shalom Shalom, and we leave you, and I love you, and leave you in the mighty hands of the Most High, and in His servant, HaKohen, Rabbi Simon Altan. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Shalom, Mishpah. Have a wonderful Shabbat and a great 6 days of labor ahead. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.